second Navigating Stedman's Resources webinar presented by Shauna and Paula. Any questions can be please held to the end, and if we miss them, you can send an email to mthds@instructors.canscribe.com and we will get back to you. Okay. So I am going to cover the online dictionary. And when I'm done that, Paula is going to present the vital source books, Stedman's vital source books that we use. Okay. So first thing I want to point out is that we actually now have access to our, oops, wrong one, to the webinar, the forums and the webinars again. It is back up online. Some of the webinars do go to the YouTube channel as well. I think they're being posted on both. But if you look in the your course homepage, you will see that the forum link is back up here. You can click on that. And when you get to the search button here, just type in webinar. And it will take you back to the webinars. Okay, so you can go through here and have a link. There's 20, 21, a couple of them are in there. You can also log in here at the top where it says login, use your username and password. If you can't get logged in using your username and password that you use to access your course, you might have to contact Student Services for a new one. Okay, but that's great news that the forums are back up. It's a great new looking forum. It's updated and got a knowledge base and support forum. And so guys, get a chance, have a look through there. Okay. So Stedman's online dictionary. There are two ways to access the online dictionary. The first one is simply using any web browser and typing in Stedman's online. Okay. This is going to
Mommy.
This is going to access you to the, you see I was logged in earlier today looking at stuff, but it will open it up just going through any web browser. Okay. The other way to do it is through your course. If you look up at the top here, you can select medical dictionary. If you select medical dictionary, it will take you to Stedman's. Okay. It will ask you, I'm going to sign out so I can sign back in. This is what you see when you open it. Okay. You have to sign in with your email and password. You will be given your email and password after you've completed your keyboarding techniques chapter. Okay. So once you're done the keyboarding techniques chapter, you will be given access to, you'll be given your access codes for Stedman's Online and your vital source books. So you click remember me and you only have to put it in the one time and you're going to open up to your Stedman's Online. Okay. The very top here, my subscriptions and sign out. And this just tells you that you're signed in as you. This is your home menu. Whichever tab you are on is the black one. Everything else is going to be colored in green. So we're on the home tab. So the home tab is black. So over here, this is our font size button. You can make it smaller, larger, and the largest, and I'm going to leave it on large just because I know it's easier to see when I'm sharing my screen. The other option is always control with your plus button will make the screen larger as well if you need it bigger. Okay, so you can try that, but these buttons are here for that reason as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the home page here. You're going to get the word of the day. Okay, today's word of the day is Gerhardt. Not sure how to pronounce that? You can click on the pronunciation button and it will play the pronunciation for you. Gerhardt. Okay, so that is how, I don't know if you guys can hear that through the share, but it does read it out loud for you, which is a nice handy thing to have for, you know, some of the more difficult to understand medical words. And it gives you the definition of it. It's Carl, ACJ, German physician, And you can click on all of these links. Anything that's blue in here is a link, and it will take you to information. So Sézère-Hart-Mitchell disease, and if you want to know more about that, you can click on that link and it will take you to more information on that particular disease. Okay. Videos is not necessarily a video of the day, but they do have certain videos. They move them around. There's only so many videos that they have, but they highlight certain ones each day, I guess is how you would say that. Okay, so you can click and watch any of those videos as well. We'll go through them in a minute. My Stedmans, so anything that you want to add or save or put up on your Stedman so that you have quick access to it, and I will show you how to do that. It'd be a quick way to get to your references that you have. No, I signed myself out somehow. Okay, recent searches. So anything that you have recently looked for is going to pop up on this side here. So say you're constantly looking for diabetes and you're not quite sure, it's not the diabetes, but maybe the mellitus, or maybe you're looking for the hyphenation of non-insulin dependent. You can research, you can check that you looked for it yesterday. Okay, well, there's diabetes. There's all the searches functions that come up under diabetes, and these are all the subtypes that come up, and you can click on any one of these to get more information. Okay, if you're just using it for spelling, diabetes mellitus is right there. Insulin dependent diabetes mellitus is right there. Non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus is right there. So that's just one thing that you can do with your recent searches. If you know you searched for it earlier or the day before, it should be under your recent searches. I'm not sure how long it lasts for, but that is it's quite handy to have that there. Down at the bottom is just links. This is not run by CanScribe at all. This is Stedman's. So if you have questions for it or you need to contact them about something, use these links down here. Okay. So we will come back to this. This is your main search page for when you are looking for definitions, and we'll come back and do some sample searches after we go through the rest of these tabs. So illustrations. There are so many illustrations in here that you can look at. There's 4 different tabs in here that all contain their own specific category type for searches or for illustrations. You can search your illustrations by term, and that's just by clicking on any letter in the alphabet. Okay, there's the anatomy color plates under the medical dictionary, and it's showing 7, but then you can click on view all 27 anatomy color plates, and it's going to open up 27 more links, but there's more than that many because there's 3 on this one, 2 on this one, a couple 2s over here. So there are so many pictures. And then you scroll to the bottom and they've got additional color plates down here. So if you're working on something and you're not sure what you want to get just kind of an image, if you're an imagery person and you learn better by looking at pictures, this is a great place to go. For the anterior and posterior view of the skull, if you're learning about that part of the skeleton, you can open it up here. So this is the anterior and posterior view of the skull. All of these related definitions, if you click on any of them, you can see if I scroll over them, my pointer turns to a hand, and they're all blue, so they are all hyperlinks, and it will take you to the definition in the dictionary part of the Stedman's. You can click on the picture or click on view large, and you will get a larger image of this picture. Okay, so this is the picture that you see. All the links are down here in this large version of the picture as well. The bottom here, it says download this image, print this image. These are images that are free to print off, download, whatever you want to do with it. If you want to have it as a poster in on your wall so that you can refer back to it, it's got all the definitions that you might need to know, and so not a bad idea if you're struggling with some of the terminology. You can also just save it to your Stedman's. So save to my Stedman's. That will take you back to at the beginning there where you could put things into your Stedman so you can have quick reference to it. So you want to save it to your Stedman's, has been saved to my saved illustrations, and you can close that window and you can close this window here. Okay, so same goes for this one as well. Again, all these links are hyperlinks, and if you want to know the zygomatic arch, you can click on that. It takes you, you can see the illustration is down there. There are 13 images that correspond to this, and it will take you to the definition of zygomatic arch. Okay, so that's pretty neat with all those hyperlinks that they've got in here. So this is just under the medical dictionary. This is how many color plates they have. Okay, if you go to the health and nursing dictionary, they are slightly different. They have the same ones, but they have slightly different ones in the additionals. I didn't go through and double check which ones were different, which ones are the same. But if you can't find it under medical dictionary, perhaps you'll find it in health and nursing dictionary. And it does work the same in that you can browse these illustrations by alphabet. Okay, say you want to know zygomatic arch. Click on the Z. It comes up here under the alphabet. You can click on that link and it takes you back to the same picture, but it also gives you other pictures where you would find that term. So there's one here, there's a picture here, and there's also a picture here that will, you know, find whichever picture works best for you. Whatever term you're looking for. So that's the nice thing that it does, is that it does take you to other illustrations that might show it in just a bit of a different view. And then there's the dental dictionary, which is more specific to oral conditions and disorders. 127 color plates on that one, and I hope nobody's eating it right now because it's kind of gross to look at. But the, you know, pictures of the teeth, pictures of rotten teeth. You can go through here and pick out anything that you want. I'm not going to make them large, but you can see that there is an abundance of images and illustrations and hyperlinks for the definitions that go for that. Okay. Then there is, oops, too many requests. It didn't like that. I'm going to have to go back in. Oh, maybe I'll just have to go through my online one. Okay. Doesn't like me using it too much, I guess. I don't know why that was all about. Okay. Pocket Medical Dictionary. So it's still in the illustrations here. It just has the initial 27 color plates. Okay, so you can go through there and it works the same way. Go by term, go by any of these systems. Okay. So videos, also fun to watch if you are looking for something a little bit more of a explanation of something that's not quite hitting home with the what we have in the course. They're fairly graphic. I'm going to show you one here. It's the movements at the shoulder joint. You can click on any of them, and as you can see, it also has related definitions. You can click on any of these definitions to find out abduction versus adduction. And if you play the video, and it does tell you the highlights the words of what the movement is. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I can hear it. He is talking and explaining this. Okay, so that's kind of neat. And again, hyperlinks off to the side here for more information. There are 15 videos just dedicated to the upper extremity. So you can click on any of those, go down to the bottom. There's 9 videos for head and neck part 1 and 3 more for part 2. So if you have questions or you just want more information, you can just, take your time and scroll through these and find more information on them, and watch the videos, which will explain things, in a visual sort of way, which some people are visual learners, some people are not. I prefer the visual, so that is kind of nice to have these videos and these illustrations here. This resource tab here is one that I'm not sure a lot of students know about. There is medical dictionary references, the resource materials, reference materials, that are all PDF links. So you can download them, you can print them off, you can do whatever you want with them, okay? So under the medical dictionary, you got the abbreviations and symbols, you've got body mass and surface calculations. Down here you got units of measures and tests, reference values, physical terminology, all these things that you can click on and compare your temperature scales, equivalents, weights, and measures. So if you're like, not sure what the, you're maybe not looking things up in the book of style, maybe you just want a quick reference, here's your weights and measures, okay? It doesn't have all of them. Clearly it's not exhaustive, but it does have quite a few. So you can look through here. There's 4 papers, like 4 appendices, I guess they call it. And you can quickly go through here if you want to keep this as, a quick reference. You can print it off, do whatever you want with it. Okay, print it off and leave it on your side of your computer, whatever you want. So that is a nice one to have. And then to close this out, just click up here. Okay, abbreviations and symbols. Common abbreviations used in medication orders and not to be used in medication orders. So it's going to download, I'm going to open it, and it's PDF. So some of these should look familiar to some of you. These are the ones that we are okay to use. Okay, so Q 1 hour, Q 3 hours, milliliter, milligram, milliequivalent, injection, BID twice a day. Down here, these are the ones that we are not to use. Okay, these are like the dangerous abbreviations that are listed in the book of style. So we don't want to use QD or QOD. We don't want to add a trailing 0. And you go scroll down here, you'll see some more. This is not all of the dangerous abbreviations. This is some of them. Okay, CC for cubic centimeters. We always want to write out milliliters, ml or milliliters. Okay, there is another sheet in here. If you go to the abbreviations link and go to the ISMP's list of error-prone abbreviations, that will also give you a list. Oh, down here. Of the dangerous abbreviations. I believe this is almost exactly like the one that is in the frequently asked questions section of the course that you can have access to. Okay, so good references to have. Print them out, highlight them for yourself. Under the abbreviations, acronyms, and symbols, there's elements and their symbols. So many different references in here. Not, things that you maybe will stumble upon once or twice, maybe really need them, maybe don't. But it is nice to know that this is where these are. Okay, so weights and measures, base units. Some of them are, repetitive. Some of them have a little bit more information than the others. But take your time, scroll through them, have a look. There's 2 links here, medical dictionary and abbreviations. So very helpful little tip on just a quick reference for if you're looking for any of this information here. Okay. And you do have to have Adobe reader or some sort of a PDF reader. Okay, you can click on this link to download the Adobe Reader. If you don't have it on your computer, it is a free download. So if you are not being able to open it, you can just click on this hyperlink here and download your Adobe Reader. Okay. The last one here is my Stedman's. This is where all the stuff that you have saved ends up. Okay, so this is where you're going to get your quick references. So my added terms, recently added terms, my saved searches. So these are the ones when you are doing a search and you got, and the last one was your recently searched pages. Under my Stedman's, you're going to get my saved searches. So if you're doing a search, say I want to search for diabetes, and I do it in the top menu there, and I have to spell it correctly. This is where you save the search. Okay, so you type it into here, and it's going to give you a link to save the search, and that is going to take it back to my saved searches. Okay, and that's, I put this in here before, so it is under my saved searches, so I can always go back to my diabetes research for my spelling. Okay, there's also my saved illustrations. So I did save the view of the head and the anterior and posterior view of the skeleton. Okay, and they've got all the hyperlinks in there. Download it, date selected. You can select all, deselect all, and you can delete them all when you want. If you want to open them, you're like, okay, I don't need this one anymore, or print it out, whatever. You can go in and delete it out of your Stedman, my Stedman's. Okay, so this is a great place to go. You know, if you want to save things, you can make notes. Recently added notes. Okay, I looked up arrhythmia. It's got 2 R's in it. Difficult to learn how to spell. You can add any notes to anything that you want for quick reference. Okay, same thing goes for my added terms. You can add a term and, you know, put it how you want to save it so that it works for you. There's no one size fits all. It is just really about doing it for you to help you in the future. Okay, so back to the home base here, where we can do our searches for words that we need help spelling. Okay, so the Stedman's Online Dictionary is just that. It's a dictionary. It needs you to be able to spell the words 100% properly in order for you to find them. Okay, if that's how you're going to do the search. So what if you don't know? If you don't know how to spell it, you just want the definition of it so you know if you have the right term. You can do a search outside of Stedman's to try and find the term that you want to use. Okay, so one of my favorite places to look for spelling or to look for anything is actually Google MT. So here's one that can be difficult to spell. I still have to check it all the time. Choledocholithiasis. Okay, how do you spell that? How do I put that into Stedman's Online Dictionary so I can find out how to spell that? Well, you can go into Google MT and kind of sound it out. Choledocholithiasis. Okay, I know that's not spelled right, but it is going to come up in the Google MT search with the proper spelling. Okay, so you can copy that down, copy and paste it so that it is spelt right. Oops, that didn't work. No, that's not going to let me copy and paste it. That's all right. So then you can see that does show up the way that I did spell it, so it is spelt wrong in here. So this is why we need to go back into Stedman's Online Dictionary to make sure the things are spelt properly. Okay, the other resource that we can use for looking for something outside of Stedman's is the One Look Dictionary. Okay, this is a neat little spelling dictionary search because you can use the what are these called? where you put space holders, I guess, so that you can kind of, you know, okay, I know it's coal, and I don't know what the inside is, and I know it ends in S. Okay, it's not going to come up. I'm going to remove some of this. And you can, there you go, choledocholithiasis. So you don't need to have the whole word. You can just type in parts of it and it will come up with some words for you to choose. So then you can get the proper spelling. Go back to Online Dictionary and put it in here as the proper spelling to get your definition. Okay. As you start to type it, it might come up with possibilities.